What's up, y'all, and welcome back. I am Marcus, also known as Epic Name Bro, and today we are going to continue the Dark Souls 2 walkthrough by leaving Majula and heading into the Forest of Fallen Giants. We are going to that fort right over there. So let's just head down this pathway. Alright, here we go. Finally getting into some action. Majula is such a long thing, and I gotta say, one of the things I like the least about the game is the Majula theme. That song, it just drags on you after a while. It gets really old really fast. But then again, I've heard it a lot. So, all right, this door, the lever is absolutely right here. Once again, this is another one of those points in the game where, like, I know somebody's gonna miss this lever, and they're gonna see this, and they're gonna go around, and they're gonna be looking for where's the lever? Where's the lever? It's just right here. There's a couple of places in the game like that where there's a locked door and there's a lever there, and you might be wondering why. I love this environment right here. You might be wondering, why is there a locked door right here and then the lever's just right there? Like, what is that? And I don't know this for fact, but judging from my experiences, I would say that that might be one of their ways of kind of disguising a little bit of loading, because it's loading up a large area on the other side. So this chest once again is fine to open. You get a human effigy here, and I will remind you one more time, if you destroy a chest before you open it, you're only going to get rubbish, so be careful about that. You can make this jump over here to that treasure, but it's not necessary unless you're just like, if you're doing a speed run, if you're in a hurry, it might be faster. I'm not sure. It might be quicker just to run down over here, though, because you have to run down that plank. But just do it the smart way if you don't want to risk a death. Because jumping, it's better in Dark Souls 2, I would say, but I still prefer not to do too much platforming. I like the fact that jumping is in Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 compared to Demon Souls, because it does add some to the exploration, and finding cool shortcuts is always fun, but I don't ever really trust the jump mechanic too much. It's a sure way to die for me. Here we go. These guys are hollow infantry, so, well, we'll read the description in a second, but once upon a time, they were just normal Drang Lake infantrymen. Hollow infantry boots. A piece of basic minimal equipment. Well, this basically only talks about that, but once upon a time, they were just soldiers of the kingdom, and they fought in the war against the giants. But now, the curse has overtaken them. You see that arrow coming in. That's why I'm hiding back behind this rock, this moss-covered rock. This is going to be a common theme. You can see him over there. He's about to shoot again if I show myself. Here it comes. So yeah, so I go forward and get their attention, and then you can run back over here out of the line of sight of that guy. It's a very common theme in Dark Souls 2. You're going to have ranged attackers shooting stuff at you, and you need to find cover where you can fight the melee enemies, and then you can approach. So, let's get this item. Hollow infantry armor. Roll our way, roll our way! Now watch out, there's another ambush over here. You can use the bridge to protect you. I was using the strong attack of that broadsword there, and the main reason I did that was for the forward stepping motion. Always remember that it's true that some weapons do more or less damage, but the move set that you're comfortable with is always going to be more important in the end. There we go. And also remember, anytime you see a corpse that ain't got an item on him, it probably gonna stand up, man. That's probably how that's just how it is, man. If you see a corpse and it doesn't have an item, well, that's probably an enemy. Alright, now, cleared out these guys. These now hollow, noble infantrymen. They have this cheap equipment, very basic stuff. that's worn down over time, actually. There's two versions of this equipment. by the way. This was something I had talked about. I thought would be cool if they did, and then they ended up actually doing it, so I'm really amazed about that. But the hollow infantry boots, there's also another one called infantry boots, and the infantry boots are just a newer looking version of it, and it has better stats too, so really cool. Alright, couple of things. There's a bonfire over here, and we see an item up there, but we don't know how to get to it. We'll get to that item in just a second. This bonfire you might also remember from the Dark Souls 2 comic, because this is where the Crestfallen Warrior was there. This bonfire is actually called the Crestfallen's Retreat. I love it, man. I just thought that's so... I loved it. I loved it the first time I saw it, and the first time I saw it was before the comic started, so... But I just... The Crestfallen's Retreat, like, he's gonna come here and just chill and be crestfallen. See how easy it is to miss that backstab. Which is probably, honestly, a good thing. It's also a lot more difficult to parry in this game, which... is probably honestly good overall for the gameplay, because it just gives you so much. Like, it gives you that opportunity. Hold on. Oh, come on now. Ah. Alright, hold up. This is dumb. Hey, you, come on. Come on. Come on. What are you doing, dude? No! Don't forget about me. Don't you forget about it. It knocks him down, gives you a chance to heal, and gives you a chance to do ridiculous damage. So it's probably a good thing for the game's balance. If you get hit in the head by an arrow, you will stagger. It's probably a good thing for the game's balance that it's more difficult to pull off, but it does change the way the game feels. Like in Dark Souls 1, you know, I'd be running around parrying these bitches all over the place, but it's a lot more of a risk-reward thing in this one than it was before. I already picked up that item. What am I doing? So, once again, resting at the bonfire will respawn the enemies, but if you continually do it and try to farm these guys, you will eventually kill them all. I know a lot of people have expressed concern that, well, it's going to be really hard if I want to farm the enemies and the enemies disappear and then I'm stuck. There's a couple of problems with that line of thinking. The first point is that farming levels isn't going to really help you too much. Notice I brought them over here to fight behind this tree, and the reason why is because of that archer that just shot at me. I went too far. This is actually a good cover point right here. If you go too far, he can shoot at you again. That was my mistake. But if you hang out right around here, you can fight those guys, and then he won't be able to mess with you too much. And I completely forgot what I was talking about before. Oh, right, the leveling. Level grinding is not going to help you that much because each individual level that you get doesn't really increase your strength that much. Beyond that, they throw levels at you. Like, you're going to end this game much higher level than you would, like, Dark Souls 1. Like, I would say, the way it's calibrated now in version 1.0, level 120 or so, you can expect to get, so... And it's really more about... I don't know. Anyway, let's get this broken straight sword. He is targetable as an enemy, but he is also non-aggressive now. It's another kind of historical point, is that in previous patches he was not so passive. Alright, I'm close to the wall so the archer can't quite get me. This, as I said before, if it's a corpse on the ground and it doesn't have an item... Ooh, bandit's knife. If it's a corpse on the ground and it doesn't have an item, probably gonna stand up, man. Alright, here we go. Out here, there is a hole in this wall over here that's easy to miss when you're... This is some of the stuff that I appreciate about Dark Souls 2's design. It's similar to Dark Souls, but I think they even took it a step farther. You climb up this ladder, you got multiple items on the ground to look at. You are ambushed immediately by 3 enemies. There's an archer pressuring you from the top. There's this guy sitting on the ground that you can target, but he's not hostile to you. There's all this stuff to think about. So it's very easy not to... This is behind you, by the way, when you climb up the ladder. When you climb up the ladder, this is what you're seeing. So it's very easy to get involved in all this. You're fighting these enemies, you're getting these items and shit like that, and not turn around and see, oh wow, there's a hole here. And plus they have this giant, I guess this is a root, yeah, this giant root right here that disguises, you don't like see open sky when you look out there. So just really cool. Anyway, climb up this ladder. Sorry, this is a little game design discussion there. I know I shouldn't do too much of that in the walkthrough, but I have to appreciate it some. Oh shit! I have to appreciate it some, you know. Infantry axe. That should give us a little bit more lore on these guys. Infantry axe. No. I guess maybe we have to get the infantry here. I'm trying to remember. Well, whatever. We'll get it as we go. I promise. I promise you guys. Up here, we can get this. I probably should have not done this first. Normally I kill that guy first. Alright, here we go. Bro! Jerk ass archer. Die. And then jump mechanic! I'm not even gonna say jump when I jump like that anymore. I'm gonna call it jump mechanic! Short sword. Alright, short sword's really actually pretty cool. I guess it's going to depend. You're going to need 10 decks for it to even get started with it, but the thing I like about it is these thrusting attacks are really pretty beast. They are really good, man. I like it a lot. Ooh, ooh. So, yeah, I like the moveset on that weapon. It's giving me 100 plus 40 from scaling. This is giving me 120 plus 38, so in terms of just strength, that would be stronger, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can swing 5 times, and that puts me into negative stamina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and... Wait, did I swing 1 extra time there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into negative stamina. Interesting. So, might be taking a little bit less stamina. I'll put those side by side to compare them via the magic of video editing. You guys will have more information than I do at this point because I can't just like automatically replay that in my brain. Alright, we got the short sword. The short sword's the main thing. Well, killing the archer is the main thing, but getting that short sword's also really useful. You can... got stuck. Can look down there and see that you probably don't want to explore that. And down here, you probably just saw it when I moved my camera over there. Bing bong! That's how you get to that item that we saw from down below. As above, so below! Windmills. Here we go. Throwing knives. Man, these, oh, hey, throwing knives are so useful in Dark Souls 2. They are so damned useful. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. They're really good. Really. Don't hesitate to farm a little bit at the beginning if you want to respawn those guys and do all that. Knock yourself out. Do a little bit to get a few levels to get yourself started, but when you're ready to engage this guy, go for a backstab. Yeah. And then 1 and get back before the turnaround slash. Woo, that was close. Now throwing knives. Oh, I missed. No, I missed. 111. 111 damage on that throwing knife. To put this in perspective, if he stands still like that, he's gonna do that running slash. I do 93 with my normal hits. 1, 2. He did. He's not a difficult enemy, but that throwing knife does more than my normal hits. Alright. Haid Knight Sword. This is gonna be your first lore for most people, depending, I mean, it depends on your route, but, route or route, however you want to say it, you damn hippies. Haid Knight Sword. A straight sword originating in Haid. A special alloy makes it very durable. The composition of the alloy of these swords remains a mystery, but in Drang Lake, the attempt to imitate it resulted in the similar Braden steel. And there will be a lot of Braden steel items that we get throughout Dark Souls 2, and I like the fact that they actually have these metals that they've kind of created for this world. There's Gay steel, there's Braden steel, and then there's this special alloy. Alright, this is a really interesting weapon in that it has requirements in strength and dex, but it has scaling in strength, dex, and lightning. So your faith will increase the amount of damage that this sword does. It has a split damage type by default, naturally. It's got physical damage, it's got 75, and then it's got lightning attack, it's got 50. And if I equip it, hold on, let me equip this. You can see that you have, I'm getting plus 40 damage from my strength and dex scaling, and I'm getting plus 18 from my lightning. Now, if you just add the numbers up, you're going to be like 75 plus 50 plus 40 plus 18 is, oh, that's so much more than the broadsword. But remember, it's a split damage type, so the enemy is able to reduce the weapon's attack using both their physical defense and their lightning defense. So it isn't going to be stronger necessarily than the broadsword, even though the numbers look higher. And I will show you what we're talking about. I said I'll show you what we're talking about. That was 122. It may do more on this enemy. No, 128. Yeah, so the broadsword did more than this one did. It also has a different move set than the broadsword. 1 second, I think it's, yeah, these one-handed swings. I'm not really a huge fan of the swords that do these sorts of swings, but in any case, if you have the strength and dex to wield this, but you also have some faith, then it might actually be better than the broadsword for your character. And for enemies that don't have much lightning defense, it could be better. Alright, let's break this, but I'm not going to use it because it's not really better for me. It's kind of the same. And we're going to get these wood bolts, which are going to be useful later. So go ahead and pick those up because we are going to use those. But another thing I should point out, though, is that you look at this weapon's durability. It's already down to 36 of 60. In Dark Souls 2, you lose weapon durability much, much, much faster than in Dark Souls 1. But resting at a bonfire, like it says here, will repair it completely. Unless it breaks. If you let it get to 0 and it breaks, then you're going to have to go to a blacksmith, which is a pain in the ass because it costs souls and you're without one of your main weapons while you're doing it. So, I said that this weapon is pretty similar to the broadsword. It's actually really helpful to have a weapon that is similar in damage to your main weapon. We can actually use this for a while and save some durability on our main weapon. And another thing to note is if you look at the weapon icons in the bottom left, it's very subtle, but there is a little red meter underneath my sword and underneath my shield that illustrates the amount of durability. And as I kind of pan around, you can see that I'm missing some durability on the broadsword. So you can keep an eye on that. It's very difficult to see. I wish they had made that slightly larger, but, you know, it's still a nice feature. Alright, this guy is going to two-hand on us. We're going to swing on his ass very quickly and just take him out quick. That is a hollow soldier right there. Once upon a time a royal soldier, but he's hollowed now. And those broadswords, man. All these infantrymen and all of these soldiers are going back to the war with the giants. Roll back! Because of that firebomb. There we go, that's one down. Back up, get my stamina back. Stamina management's really, managing it is a lot bigger deal this time around. This guy's a total jerk if you just approach him normally with his firebombs, so throw a knife. And now, bam! Looks pretty cool. Yeah, they were involved in the war with the giants. These defenders of this fort complex that we're in right now. Well, that's one thing about this moveset. I should point out that it's a lot more vertical. If I had been using my broadsword, probably my second swing would have hit. Hold on, let me just use my broadsword, and my second swing would have hit there. Yeah. Buckler. Alright, the buckler is a shield that, as you probably expect if you play Dark Souls or Demon Souls, it is specialized for parrying. It requires 13 dex, which means I can't use it effectively right now. You can see these red numbers over here are representing negative scaling. Like, this is the penalty that I have for not meeting the shield's requirements. But the parry timing is a little bit more forgiving on the buckler shield. So this is the normal Silver Eagle Kite. That's the buckler. It has more active frames for your parry animation, so it makes parrying easier, and I pretty much highly recommend, at least at first, if you're wanting to practice parrying and start parrying a lot, the buckler is probably a good shield to use to do that. That is Dranglake Castle over there, by the way. Oh man, cannot wait. Cannot wait. We must go see the king, but we can't do that right now. We gotta meet those 4 bosses and stuff, man. Alright, run up here. This, my friends, is Cardinal Tower. But first... free souls! Oh, Hollow Soldier Leggings. I was really hoping for a halberd drop there. Halberd's really good. These witching urns are essentially like a firebomb, but they're not fire damage, they are lightning, or not lightning, they're magic damage. What am I talking about? A small clay urn enwreathed in magic explodes, inflicting magic damage. Created in Melfia, a land that flourishes with magic and pyromancy. Though the magic contained in the urn lacks potency, it is a boon to any inexperienced traveler. Anytime I see the word enwreathe, I automatically think of Shade of Oran. I will not move when flame wreath is cast, or the raid blows. I like to look at this room before lighting the bonfire, because you're not gonna see it dark like this again. Bang. I don't know, that's supposed to be like a holy gesture, I guess, but to me it just looks like she's like, what the... I don't know. This is Valencia. She is my baby doll.
Buy something, anything. Oh, come now, help an old woman and buy something. My name is Valencia. You're a stranger to this land. Oh, we get as strangers these days. Everybody's gone and run off. Dranglake's been a pile of rubble since the war fought long, long ago. And the giants crossed the sea.
Valencia rhymes with dementia. Let's first, broken straight sword we already have. Hand axe, we're about to pick one up. Buying an item I'm gonna get for free. I ain't about that life, if I can quote my sister. The club is interesting because it has an A scaling in strength by default. This is a light one-handed weapon with A scaling in strength. If you are looking for a good strength-based weapon that's light and easy to use, club, man, it's just here for you. But another really amazing thing to me is the Caestus is actually A scaling in strength, B in dex. That is nuts, man. This is the only fist weapon in the game, and yeah, I don't know. I really, oh man, it's cool. All right, recommended purchases here for right now. Traveling Merchant Hat. If you're just getting started in the game, it's your first playthrough, or if there are item sets that you're going to want to farm or things like that, get yourself a Traveling Merchant Hat because its effect, it raises item discovery. It also has lore about Lanifer, where blue represents knowledge. Wearing this increases item discovery. Lanifer is the farthest land to the south and follows a strict edict of isolationism. The rare visitor from Lanifer is always a little odd. The rest of the set does not have that effect. It's only the hat. So spend yourself the souls, the 850 on version 1.0. I don't know if they change it later. Spend the souls, get the hat. Also, on her consumable items, she does have effigies and life gems and ember herbs for sale in limited quantities. If you're struggling, you might want to buy some of those. You can farm some souls and buy those up. Fire bombs, I highly recommend buying at least one. I am not going to buy two. I'm gonna buy two. Just hold on to those for now. Witching urns we have. Throwing knives, you can get some more if you're wanting to utilize those a bit more. Pharaoh's Lockstone is extremely important, and we will buy this from her. We will buy this from her. If you want to farm the souls up for it right now, you can do that. We're going to get it later. We just don't need it at this current moment. But we will take Leningrast's key. Hell yes. And this is one of the reasons why I love Majula. She's a sharp old lady now. She knows how to earn some money. She's like, oh, dude moved into this house, and I have the key, and I'm just going to lock it. 1,000 souls. Alright. She also sells soul arrow and heal. So if you're a sorcerer looking for more soul arrows, a cleric looking for heal, or any class that picked up the chime and has raised your faith in attunement and is wanting heal, here it is. What else you got to talk to me, baby doll?
Seemed like the battles would never end. Poor folk like myself have nary a place to sleep. That's why I keep all me things right with me. You may travel light, but methinks you bear a burden of your own.
It's true.
They say these trees grew from the remains of the giants. From each carcass sprouted new life growing into what you see now. But you know what they also say? Don't believe what an old hag says.
Her voice actress nailed it.
It's high time that I pick up a move. I've a bargain for you next time we meet, my love. Thank you kindly.
I love Melintia. I love her. The reason we bought those firebombs will become apparent very soon. But first, let's go up here. Ooh, a door. It's locked. Aw, I don't have the key. Aw, man. Fuck you, door. I love that, man. I love that. Oh, you don't have the key. You can't open the door. Oh, well, I guess you could open the door by brute force. Small leather shield and repair powder. The small leather shield is kind of, well, it only requires 5 strength, so pretty much anybody can use it. I guess that's the point. I guess that's the point of that shield, honestly. Another ambush. Like I said, corpse on the ground, ain't got treasure. Oh, look at that hand axe. And a Radiant Life Gem. Radiant Life Gem is just an improved version of the Life Gem. But I'm telling you, man, Lynch is trying to sell us hand axes we can get just upstairs. We ain't about that life. I don't know, that's like my sister's catchphrase these days, and it's getting stuck in my head. Jerk. This. Estus Flask Shard, small white sign soapstone. So we can use our soapstone, don't drop soapstone. We can use that to get ourselves summoned if we want to help out other players and reap the rewards associated with the jolly cooperation. But much more importantly, we got another Estus Flask Shard, so we're going to take that back to Majula right the fuck now. But first, note, this is not a wooden treasure chest. This is an iron lockbox. You can't break this. You ain't gonna break this, son. And the reason why is because they didn't want you to lose out on really important treasures. So they have this type of box that even if you hit it, it ain't gonna break. So don't worry if you see an iron lock box. Don't worry about breaking it. Oh. Divine Blessing. Got another one. Yeah, here. Whoa. Alright. The way to proceed forward is down this ladder, but there's some more stuff we can do outside that's optional. Before we do any of that, though, we are going back to Majula, like right now, because there's a couple things we need to take care of.
first thing we need to take care
Is
of.
that a shard you've here to see?
Yeah, you so chatty, girl. Damn. Or else won't shut up. I don't know why. I like the Maiden in Black a lot more than Emerald Herald. Emerald Herald is charming and, you know, mysterious. Emerald Herald's just damn chatty. Chatty, chatty, chat. Chatty, catty. Alright. You.
I'm a blacksmith. Bring me that key. Chop, chop.
I'll chop your head if I won't chop your head because you're a blacksmith and you know it, you asshole.
Ah, yes. Very good. Now I can get to work. But first, let me set up. Come again later.
Alright, we can also grab a free short bow in here, which will give us a useful source of ranged attacks. But the short bow does require 12 dex, which we don't have yet, so there's that. We could level up, but I want to save those souls just a little bit more. I do want to show you one more thing before we head back to Cardinal Tower, and that is...
Oh, I was hoping that you would come. I've stocked some new things, and I thought that you might be interested. They've been selling rather well, and I may step up operations soon. I'm surprising even myself, to be honest.
So we see he's advanced his storyline a little bit. Like, we helped him out a little bit. We bought a couple of... we spent like 1,500 souls. You really only need to spend 1,000 to do it, I think. But we spent a little bit of souls, so he got some money, and he started to, you know, turn things around a little bit. And it's really funny in life, too, how much some people, all they really need is just a little chance, just a little something, and then they can step forward and then really begin to do amazing things. So I can relate to that a lot. I think it's a really interesting story. But you'll also know that he has started stocking the Elite Knight stuff. He's got the Royal Soldier gear, crafted, equipment crafted by the Royal Blacksmith, finely polished and ready for battle. This is the higher stat and newer looking version of the Hollow Soldier stuff. And of course he has the Infantry and Falconer stuff. But he's got the Elite Knight gear. And if we spend some more souls here, he's going to get even better stuff. But we can't do it right now because I need to keep these souls. But we will come back and we will continue his quest line. But first, let's hear his new dialogues.
Did I mention before that, well, I'm not from these parts? I was on a journey and somehow ended up here. The desolation here was disenchanting at first, but over time, things started to turn my way. Yeah, I've got a good few regulars now. They're all strangely desperate and quite willing to pay a premium. Sadly, some of them never come back, but I try not to think about it.
And here we start to see just a little hint of kind of the... Mullen's a really interesting character. He's starting to get some customers, but he even says theirself that they're all very desperate and they're willing to pay a premium, which means he's maybe charging them too much. And he also discusses how some of them never come back. It's just, he's got a really interesting story.
Have you seen that warrior lugging that giant blue sword about? I'm no expert, but that appears to be a fine specimen. The monstrous thing has a peculiar design, quite unlike anything found in Volgan. If you should speak to him, would you ask him if he won't sell it? I'd have to take another look, but I'm confident I could offer quite a price.
Yeah, you really are no expert. You should just stick to armors, bro.
I considered returning to my homeland, but I've decided to stay a while longer. I've started to turn a handsome profit now, and I can't bear to give it up. I can... Always open for business.
So you see, he's kind of gained some confidence, and overall things have improved a lot for him, but you also see kind of where things could start to go astray. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for us here. I think I've done everything that I wanted to do.
let's travel back to Cardinal Tower. And kind of unfortunately, that's also going to wrap us up for today now that I look at my time here. Oops, that was screw up on my part. Let me just redo that. Get my HP back without using my Estus, although I do have 3 now. That's really good. What I was gonna say, oh, you know what, I just realized I never equipped my blue seal. Slightly increases your HP, very, very slightly, as a matter of fact. If I, dang it, if I remove the blue seal and then I go to equip it, you can see 972 to 1001. Very small bonus, but it is a bonus. Oh, wait, there's other stuff that I wanted to talk about. Actually, we're not done today. Hold on, 1 second. Wait, I wanted to point out, if you look in the bottom right, you see 49.8%. That is my current equip burden. Like, I'm at 50% of my maximum. The 24.4 represents the weight of all of the things that I have equipped right now, excluding consumables. They don't have weight, mysteriously. The 49.0 represents the maximum that I can carry, and that is based on my vitality. Now, I can roll normally like this. I'm at 49.8, but even if I go over 50, I'm at 50.9, I can still roll normally here. It's fine. It's not like Dark Souls where suddenly if you're carrying half of what you were able to carry, you roll like a big Goliath. That doesn't happen anymore. But there are still limits. Like, well, first of all, it's a very smooth scale. Like, you can't tell the difference maybe just by looking between a 61% roll and a 50% roll, but there is in fact a difference. The roll is different, and as if you start removing gear, you'll start to be able to notice it a little bit better. The thing is, in Dark Souls 2, for the most part, it's just a very smooth scale that they have. Let me put, oh, I forgot to put on my traveling merchant hat anyway. I'm glad I did that. I can put that on. Let's equip something that's got some more weight to it. This. Now, we're over 70%. We're at 70.5. Now we have big fat roll. We have that delayed, the controller shakes every time we roll. So, 70.5 is right out. And actually, let me try to... I don't think I can rig it right now. Yeah, I can't do it. Just, you're gonna have to take my word for it on this one, I'm afraid. But, if you manage to get exactly 70% exactly, you can still roll normally. It's only if you exceed 70% is when you get the big fat rolls. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Great. Perfect. See, you can still roll normally. But you probably can notice a lot better at 70% compared to, let's drop this, and we're down closer to 60%. And then we drop this, we're down around 50%. And then we take off this and this, we're down at 35, 36. And you take off this and we're down at 20. .0. So you should be able to notice differences in the roll speeds, but it's a very smooth sliding scale. So up until 70%. 70% is where you get hit. Like, that's the big break point that you want to try to avoid. Get my gear back. I did want to go over that because it's different this time around. Alright. Now, looking at my time, that's definitely gonna have to wrap it up. Oh, shit, I missed! I can't believe I did that again. Damn it. Oh, well. Chance for us to get a few more souls, I guess. I'm gonna have to cut this. I would love to have the, like, hour-and-a-half episodes that I normally do, but right now my internet is crap. And
it takes hours and hours and hours to upload a 30-minute episode or a 40-minute episode. So yeah, there we go. That's going to be some more souls for us. That's nice. When we come back next time, we are going to drop down here and do this little side area. This is a completely optional part down here, but we're going to take that out next time. I am Marcus, also known as ENB. You can check the playlist link in the description and get me on Twitter and stuff. Later, guys.